On February 12, 1993, a day that would forever be etched into the memory of a nation, a young mother named Denise Bulger took her 2-year-old son, James, on a routine shopping trip to the Strand shopping centre in Bootle, Liverpool. While inside a butcher shop, Denise momentarily let go of James's hand. In those fleeting seconds, he vanished. The initial panic turned into a frantic search, with security and police quickly becoming involved. It was every parent's worst nightmare. The shopping center's CCTV footage was reviewed, and what it revealed was chilling. The grainy images showed little James being led away by the hand, not by an adult, but by 2 older boys. They looked like they were just kids themselves. Who were they? Why did they take him? This image of James, a tiny, trusting figure walking with his soon-to-be captors, became a haunting symbol of the tragedy. The boys seen on the footage were identified as Robert Thompson and John Venables, both 10 years old. They had been skipping school that day, a day they filled with petty shoplifting and aimless wandering. For reasons that still defy complete understanding, they decided to abduct a child. They tried with another toddler first, but that child's mother intervened. Then, they saw James. They coaxed him out of the shopping center, beginning a horrifying 2.5-mile walk across the city. Multiple witnesses saw them. They saw James crying, with a visible bump on his head. When questioned, the 2 older boys were quick with their lies. They claimed James was their little brother, that they were taking him home, or to the police station. People were hesitant to intervene, perhaps assuming it was just a sibling squabble. This collective inaction would later lead to widespread public reflection and regret. Why didn't anyone step in? It's a question that highlights the bystander effect and the complexities of human psychology in public spaces. The boys eventually led James to a railway line near Walton, a desolate and isolated area. It was there, beside the tracks, that they committed acts of unimaginable cruelty against the toddler. 2 days later, on Valentine's Day, James Bulger's body was discovered on that same railway line. The nation was plunged into a state of shock and profound grief. The brutality of the crime was incomprehensible, but what made it even more disturbing was the age of the perpetrators. They were just children. The police investigation quickly zeroed in on Thompson and Venables after a witness who saw them with James came forward. When arrested, the boys initially denied everything, blaming each other. But during separate, carefully conducted police interviews, the horrific details of their crime began to emerge. Their accounts were cold, detached, and filled with contradictions. They seemed to show a shocking lack of remorse or understanding of the gravity of their actions. The trial of Robert Thompson and John Venables began in November 1993. Due to their age, they were tried in an adult court, but with special provisions, such as sitting on raised chairs so they could see over the dock. The evidence presented was gut-wrenching, painting a full picture of James's final hours. The prosecution detailed the boys' journey with James and the forensic evidence found at the scene. The psychological profiles of the boys were also examined, revealing troubled backgrounds, but nothing that could adequately explain the extreme violence they perpetrated. The public outcry was immense. The case dominated headlines, and the courtroom was surrounded by angry crowds. The judge, Justice Moreland, described the murder as an act of unparalleled evil and barbarity. On November 24, 1993, Thompson and Venables were found guilty of the abduction and murder of James Bulger, making them the youngest convicted murderers in modern British history. They were sentenced to be detained at Her Majesty's pleasure, with a recommendation they serve a minimum of 8 years. Their sentencing sparked a fierce debate about youth justice, the nature of evil, and whether children could be held fully responsible for such heinous crimes. The case forced society to confront uncomfortable questions. Are some children born evil, or are they a product of their environment? Can a child who commits such an act ever be truly rehabilitated? The debate was polarized, with some calling for harsh, lifelong punishment, and others arguing for a focus on rehabilitation, given their young age. Thompson and Venables spent the next 8 years in secure youth detention centers. They were given new identities to protect them from public retribution upon their release. The decision to grant them anonymity was, and remains, highly controversial. James's parents, Denise Fergus and Ralph Bulger, fought tirelessly against it, arguing that the public had a right to know who they were and where they were. In 2001, at the age of 18, both Thompson and Venables were released on a lifelong license. The conditions were strict. They could not contact each other, or the Bulger family, and they were forbidden from entering the Merseyside area. They were given new lives, new names, and a chance to reintegrate into society. Robert Thompson has, by all public accounts, remained out of trouble and has not He has lived a life of complete anonymity, and his whereabouts are unknown. The story of John Venables, however, took a different turn. His life after release has been plagued by instability. In 2010, he was recalled to prison for breaching the terms of his license after indecent images of children were found on his computer. He was released again in 2013, but in 2017, he was sent back to prison for the same offense. This reoffending reignited public fury and intensified the debate about his rehabilitation and the initial decision to release him. To many, it proved he was a continuing danger to society. The legacy of the James Bulger case is profound and far-reaching. It led to changes in how child offenders are treated in the UK justice system and prompted a national conversation about parental responsibility, community vigilance, and the very nature of childhood innocence. The haunting CCTV image of James being led away remains a powerful reminder of a vulnerability that was so brutally exploited. For James's family, the pain is unending. His mother, Denise Fergus, has become a formidable campaigner for victims' rights and justice reform. She has fought to keep James's memory alive, ensuring that he is remembered not just as a victim, but as a bright, happy little boy whose life was stolen. Her strength in the face of unimaginable loss is an inspiration. The charity she established, the James Bulger Memorial Trust, provides holidays and support for other families who have suffered bereavement or been victims of crime. This case forces us to look into the darkest corners of human behavior. It challenges our beliefs about good and evil, crime and punishment, and the potential for both cruelty and redemption. The story of James Bulger is a heartbreaking tragedy, a chilling true crime case, and a powerful social commentary that continues to resonate decades later. It is a stark reminder of the importance of protecting the innocent and the enduring quest for justice in the face of unspeakable loss. Thank you for watching. If this story has affected you, remember there are resources available. Organizations like the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children and Victim Support Services can offer help. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into cases that have shaped our world. We'll see you next time.